What's the most beautiful thing in your warehouse? It's flow. That's right. Flow state in your operation is when everything comes together and everything works. And that is the most beautiful thing in your warehouse operation. Now, how do we get to that flow? Who's responsible for creating that flow? And how do we make sure that flow isn't in just one department, but goes across all departments? And how do we identify what disrupts that flow? In this edition of DC 101, we'll dive into all those topics and we'll get you into that Zen-like flow state in your warehouse operation. This is DC 101.
So flow is about maintaining a balanced workflow across the operation where essentially the inputs and outputs of every process match. And it's avoiding creating large work in process volume or queues between processes. So it starts with really kind of managing the staffing of it, right? What's my productivity level? How many people do I have in that process so that I can adequately position people so that I can consistently deliver the same volume into an area and out of the area and feeding the next process downstream without creating that backlog. So there are two things. We affectionately call the first one the pile of crap. It is where is there a big bottleneck when we walk through a staging area? What staging areas are full, right? That's a good indicator that there's something misaligned, right? The other thing that we often see is that are huge swings in staffing, meaning that at the end of first break everybody moves to packing instead of picking. Those type of mass movements are also indicators of I don't have a consistent flow. So, I mean, all of the leadership team ultimately is responsible for it, right? It's about creating a good plan of how do I create the flow of work through the building across the day so that I can maintain a consistent volume level everywhere, right? Then it's about how do I manage that? How do I, as the leadership team, how do I position the right number of people in every process to maintain that flow, right? And then finally, how do I monitor and adjust it? Because there are times throughout the day that even the best laid plan doesn't always work and things have to be accounted for. So ultimately, what am I doing to monitor that and then change the staffing level, the productivity rates, whatever that might be, to make minor adjustments to rebalance the flow throughout the day? We suggest to people that part of their communication program is to have an every hour, every 2 hour touch base across the leadership team to make sure that we're not creating backlogs between processes and allowing them a forum ultimately to say, hey, I need two more people to keep up with the volume I'm getting and let them balance staffing again.
For more information on how to get your operations to suck less, check out the Breckham Group.